bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Lisnick and this is Comcast Newsmakers. This hour's newsmaker is Julie Hamos, state representative of the 18th District, and we're going to be discussing mass transit. Representative, good to see you.
Hi, Paul.
Well, this is what you've called, 2007 anyway, the year of decision when it comes to mass transit.
That's
Why?
what I'm calling it, and that's why I wanted to talk to your public about that, because it's a very important year. 2007 is going to be the year that we're going to decide whether to invest in transit or we're going to let the whole system decline. And really, I think this is important for everybody, not just the transit riders, but even the people in cars, because here's an important fact. 2 million people a day in our region ride transit. Not a million people, there are 2 million rides
Riders a day.
Rides a day. So if some of those, or a lot of those, went into their cars because we didn't have good transit, that would impact all of us. Increased congestion, bad roads, quality of life.
Well,
so
there it is.
I think it's a big problem.
The answer to somebody who says, I don't use mass transit, so why should I care? The answer is because you don't want all those folks on the road.
Exactly.
All right. Now, you said 2007, the year of decision. The truth is, people have been complaining about mass transit for as long as it's been around. What is magical about this year? Or is it just time to tackle the problem?
Well, it's the issue really is that we haven't really provided for funding, and it comes down to that. In 1983, so 23 years ago, was the last time in Illinois that we created a funding plan. For the past 2 years, it's been really running dry. And whether it comes to what we call capital, which is buying new cars and maintaining the system, or whether it's operating budgets, we don't have money for either right now, and we've got to take care of both of those problems. Here is a really important symptom of what's happening. This year in 2006, we forced Metra, PACE, and CTA to use $100 million of their maintenance dollars just to run their system, for an operating budget. You cannot do that. Bad policy, bad practice. They need to use that money for maintenance, and I think the riders know it. When we hear about the slow zones on the CTA, problems with keeping on time performance, that's because they're not maintaining what we already have.
So the fear here is, if I'm the rider, I'm hearing you talking, I'm saying, uh-oh, are my taxes going up? Because how else are we going to pay for this?
Well, it is going to be a big project, and again, not just a regional project, but really statewide. Statewide, there's a big pressure right now to put money into the pot to improve our roads, our bridges, and transit. Transit is also a statewide need. Federal government has come to us and said, we're willing to give you money, but you have to provide 20% match. So we don't want to leave federal dollars on the table and have other regions who are competing with us take that money, and we also need to provide a big capital bond program. Is it going to involve new taxes? Something has to pay for this. We can call it fees, we can call it taxes, we don't know yet what it is, but I want to give a tough love message to our viewers. The tough love is we want to improve our transit system, we want to have a world-class transit system, but we're going to have to figure out some way to pay for it.
Now, the governor has made a pledge, no new taxes, and he abided by that the first term. Does that mean he may be in for a rude awakening, or you think he may work with you and others to find another way?
Well, I hope he'll be open to some new ideas. I mean, he has talked, of course, about income tax and sales tax. Interestingly, transit in our region is paid for by the sales tax. Whenever you and I go to a store and we buy a suit, you buy that suit and you pay in this area.
Very little.
And you pay 8.75% sales tax. 1% of that goes to mass transit. Nobody knows that, but 1% of our sales tax goes to mass transit. That's been the case since 1983.
Which means that sales tax and increasing revenues in new businesses, very important. It's impacting mass transit.
Well, but that's a sales tax, so the governor has had a resistance to doing something about that. But here's another important thing to recognize. In the 5 collar counties, as we call them, Lake, DuPage, the counties outside of Cook, they're only paying 1/4 of 1%. So do we need to look at that? Yes, that's where a lot of expansions are. That's where a lot of transit needs are. So I think everything should be on the table. We should be open to it. It's all about maintaining a world-class transit system.
Come back and keep us updated.
Thank you.
Just don't take the bus to get here. This hour's newsmaker has been State Representative Julie Hamos, and I'm Paul Lisnick. Thanks for watching us here on Comcast Newsmakers.
The preceding was a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers.